This is Kimmy Avery, and I'm going to be interviewing Mary Goyer, who is a holistic fertility, pregnancy, and reproductive health specialist. She draws upon traditional training in marriage and family therapy, and her specialty is holistic mind-body techniques to offer a new way of approaching fertility, birth, and wellness for women.
There we go. I'm going to take my earphones out.
Thank you. And let's hang that all up. Okay, oops, there you are. Yay, so I'm here with Mary, and I'm really you're
Hi,
here.
Kimmy.
Hi, nice to see you.
Oh, nice to see you. Okay. We have arrived. That took a little bit of traveling, but here we are.
Great. It's wonderful. I'm really excited. So
Me too.
I wanted to interview you, Mary, because our work together is about helping men and women a fertility specialist, a holistic fertility specialist who deals with the mind-body connection in relation to fertility. So I'd like you to tell me in your words what you do.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you. Yeah, so I work with people that are interested in exploring a holistic approach to their fertility. So they may already have physical practitioners, whether they're working with REs already, reproductive endocrinologists. Sometimes people are going the more natural route with naturopaths and with acupuncture and so forth, and sometimes people are doing a combination with any of those other practitioners. And what I do is I come in and I round things out. I support people with the nutritional, mental, emotional, spiritual side of getting in alignment so that their body has the capacity to make the best use of whatever other protocols they're on, and really to give them the best chance of having that healthy conception and full-term pregnancy. So, in my experience, the integrative team approach is really what it takes for many couples in order to get pregnant. And so my interest is finding out, like, what are the missing pieces for women, especially those that have unexplained infertility or unexplained miscarriages, but even true with people that do have some diagnoses they're aware of. I help them to see what are some of the missing pieces, or what are some of the underlying causes that they can attend to support them as best as possible.
Yeah. Well, you and I both know, and I think what I'd love for you to share a little bit about is the impact on the stress, the ways that we think that causes the stress in our body. How toxic is that for the fertility process? I mean, how does it impede the process?
Yeah.
Can you describe a little?
Yeah, it does. It's stress is huge, and what I notice when people come and do some of the free consults with me, that most people have a pretty good awareness of how important a role stress plays. And most people get that their stress is sabotaging their fertility attempts, and it definitely, on many different levels, it's causing all kinds of hormonal it's impacting hormones in a number of different ways in terms of what's going on in the nervous system, how these things interact with the immune system and digestive system. Like, all of the body's systems really do get thrown off by stress, and it's very difficult when we're in a state of the fight or flight stress response to be in balance. It's just reproduction is one of those things that the body registers as unimportant if the fight or flight system is engaged, because of course, the way we're designed is, if the fight or flight system's engaged, it means our life is at danger, and there are more important things to be thinking about than conception, right? And so So the body really has it set up that resources will be focused elsewhere. And then over the course of time, if couples find that they're constantly stressed, if it's chronic, which for the majority of our culture is unfortunately the case, then that means there are constantly resources, blood, circulation, oxygen, hormones being directed away from the reproductive area, and like the system's out of balance for too long, then symptoms will begin to show up. And so people kind of have a sense of that, I think, that yeah, this is a problem. It's just they don't know what to do about it. And there's sort of like this cultural limiting belief that like, well, short of quitting my job, which I can't do, there's nothing I can do about my stress. And that is actually where the work that I do comes in, because in fact, there are a number of things that anybody can do to release those subtle sources of stress in their body. They just didn't realize they could, but it's absolutely possible.
Yeah, and actually, one of my thoughts that as you're talking, I wrote my thesis about combining neurolinguistic programming and massage and hypnosis, the mind-body connection. And one of you're trained as a marriage and family therapist, and you do more proactive work, it sounds like, that helps people to really change that mindset so that they can move into the fertility experience instead of talking about the problem over and over and over again.
Right.
And one of the one of the doctors I referenced during my thesis is a guy named Dr. Don Colbert, who wrote a book called Deadly Emotions. And a quote that I say over and over again is that cortisol and adrenaline sear the body the way acid sears metal. And everything that you're describing about the fight or flight mechanism, it used to be that we would rest. We would run from the saber-toothed tiger. We'd either be eaten, or we would sleep for days and then wake up and go about our business. And nowadays, the stress is constant. Yeah. And there's never a break from it. So I think that that's an important. Yeah,
absolutely. And it brings me to, like if there was one thing, that I would like for everybody to understand about fertility is that it is not just a solely physical event. And so this stress piece really comes in. It's like the mind-body connection. Stress is certainly physical, and but there are a number of, I'll put them in finger quotes, non-medical impacts on fertility. And when people only look at fertility from just a physical perspective, they're missing, something like 45 to 55% of what's actually going on to inform those physical symptoms.
Yeah. I knew a woman who got pregnant. She had a quarter of one ovary, and she didn't get pregnant. And she, so it's not always the biology that is stopping you. In fact, most often, I believe our mind, if you just do the physical work to change things around and you don't do the mental work, you're going to not have the success rate that you would desire. And of course, the longer you wait, the harder it is, because you've got the stress build up over time. So the time to reach out to get this holistic approach is sooner rather than later.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, it's definitely never too late. As long as you have a period, there is, in fact, actually, I've heard of a couple of my doctor friends have said, there are actually cases when people have started to go into menopause and they're able to reverse it, but essentially it's never too late. But yes, absolutely, the earlier that you're able to start looking at rebalancing the system, the better off. It's just, there's, if you're doing a U-turn, you want to do it sooner rather than way down the road if possible.
Right.
And to understand what these factors are, in fact, I'll share on my website if you are interested in finding out what some of these holistic parameters are that we pay attention to. On aufertility.com, there's you can sign up and get and get what is available as far as just kind of giving you a basic outline so that if anything resonates there, then you have a better, clearer idea of how to empower yourself and how to move forward in your fertility journey. Looks like I may have lost you, Kimmy. Are you there? Hmm.
Mary?
There you are. Yep.
Question. I was just calling you. My Google Chrome just disappeared, and luckily the broadcast. Yay for technology.
Yeah, I just was like, well, I'm gonna wait for a second and see what's going on, and yeah, okay. Anyways, so here we are.
So you were telling me about your website, which is
Yes.
is in Apple, U is in universe, fertility.org.
.com.
Apologize.
Yeah, aufertility.com, and yeah, but that gives you at least a little snapshot, So for your for your tribe, you have a lot of people in relationships, even if they have had one child, are going to experience later on secondary infertility, and there's just it's just nice to be able to share resources for those that are interested, that want to be educated in this.
Absolutely, and I think that, in fact, secondary fertility is from my understanding, and you're the specialist in this, is super high, and I think that it's because the relationship, people don't make the great deals, and they carry the baggage through, and they never clear it up, right? So clearing it up creates this space for the fertility process to go smoothly.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, do you have any other questions, or did we kind of share everything you wanted to go over? I feel like,
well, I think, I'm just checking.
Yeah.
What is this, if you had one big tip that you wanted to give to a woman? Now, I know going to your website is a great resource. One tip that you would want to give to a woman to get her started on this road to holistic fertility. I know you've mentioned your website, which is fantastic, and there are lots of things.
Yeah. One tip would be, I think the biggest thing is to really not underestimate the emotional work.
Yeah.
The side of things. There's a lot of people that when they arrive in my office, or we do phone sessions, they arrive on a call for a meeting, they often have a sense that, yeah, like, I'm a worrier, or yeah, I've been upset or angsty for some time, or yeah, there's a ton of unresolved grief from my previous miscarriages. Like, a lot of people really understand, or stress. Yeah, I've got a ton of it. People have their finger on the pulse of the fact that there's some major stuff there. It's just that I think that people don't understand how important it is to go ahead and follow through on transforming that in whatever way makes sense for them. So that's my biggest tip, is is to find the source of emotional support that will really help you begin to move through it and transform it. Don't try to do the like mind over matter, power through it approach that tends to just kind of actually add to that sort of like grit or energy that sometimes is causing the stress in the first place. So yeah, that would be my tip.
I think that's fantastic. And I think that I think I would add to that just that if you're feeling stress and you're worrying a lot, there is something you can do.
Yeah. Yes.
And the more proactive you are right now with effective treatments, instead of just telling yourself, oh, I'm happy and wonderful. Oh, a baby's coming my way, but you're feeling this.
Right.
Right. Get you what you want, because you will be getting more of that. Whatever you focus on grows. So
yeah, exactly.
I'm so grateful for our time together, Mary. I loved when we first met, because I think we're in very much alignment about supporting people and creating the lives that they want. And for you, the family. For me, it's the relationships they want. And I invite anybody who needs some support for holistic fertility to please reach out to Mary. She's a great resource for you.
Yeah.
A is in Apple, U is in university, fertility.com is a great place to be. And
yeah, and if people want to actually connect with me directly, there's a form on that same site. So aufertility.com/discovery is the way that they can set up and apply for a free consult with me. And that's then I can talk to people specifically and find out exactly what's going on and give referrals or resources, or if it turns out that they're a good fit for what I do, we can talk about that possibility. But yeah, doing a discovery session is another option as well.
Awesome. Well, great, Mary. Thank you so much for your time. I'm really excited about your work. And I wish I'd known you when I was 38. 10 years ago.
Yes. Oh, gosh. Thank you so much, Kimmy. I really appreciate your help.
Yeah.
Have a good one.
Talk to you later. Bye.
Bye-bye.